All right. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to welcome you to our latest edition of Data Bytes with the topic of navigating EU funding tips and challenges. Today, we aim to demystify the complex landscape of EU funding, providing you with key insights, practical tips, and generally a deeper understanding of the intricacies involved in securing funding for your international projects. Before we delve into the presentation, let's take a moment for a brief introduction. My name is Rosina Preis. I am Competence and Knowledge Manager at EIT Manufacturing East and your moderator for today's session. Together, we will dive into the intricacies of EU funding with a brief presentation and are happy to open up the conversation to your questions about the topic. To do so, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen. You can submit questions throughout the following presentation, and our speaker will be able to elaborate on your points at a later point in the webinar. Please do not be shy. This is really your opportunity to speak to our expert and ask any lingering questions about your potential or ongoing projects. You can also use the chat function as well. Don't be discouraged to not participate. We would be very happy to answer your questions. This topic of EU funding is particularly important to project coordinators, potential leaders in EC-funded cooperative projects, or individuals interested in submitting proposals with a production-relevant background and impact. So whether you're an experienced proposal writer or a newcomer in the field, there is valuable information for everyone. Finally, I'm very happy to introduce you to today's speaker, which is Sabine Seidl. She is a certified management consultant and the founder and owner of Ideas in Motion Unternehmensberatung, as well as a shareholder of Technologies for You GmbH. She has over 30 years of experience, is a seasoned funding and innovation expert who is specializing in project development, implementation, and international project management in industrial technologies, particularly within production, service, and ICT sectors. Oof, that's a lot of experience to put into one sentence. She has successfully led numerous regional, national, and international funding projects, and we are very pleased to have her here today as a speaker on this subject that is really crucial to so many of the organizations in our network. So Sabine will share her experience, and we encourage you to actively participate through the Q&A function and in the session following the presentation. Please do take this opportunity to ask questions, get firsthand information. I know there's a lot of deadlines coming up in early spring. So we strategically placed this webinar at this time. We know it's shortly before Christmas time and everyone's quite busy, but this is exactly the time, I think, to get into these intricacies of EU funding. So without further ado, I talked so much already. I'm very happy to hear more about EU funding and hand over to our expert, Sabine Seidl.
So thank you, Rosina, for the very kind introduction. Yeah, and hello to everybody. Yeah. And I'm really happy to have the opportunity to share with you all my long-term experience in the area of proposal planning, proposal writing, doing reports, yeah, and also like to share my long-term experience as a reviewer and a panelist, yeah, especially in the area of EU funding. As Rosina mentioned, yeah, we will dive a little bit, yeah, into the big world of EU funding, and I will give you tips, yeah, to get started, yeah, in the EU funding scene, as well as I will give you inputs for the preparation phase, yeah, to avoid possible failures, yeah, or rude awakenings, yeah, that's very important. And my personal intention, yeah, Rosina mentioned we are busy, it's Christmas, yeah, but that you use my remarks, yeah, and inputs, yeah, to be motivated to get involved more in EU funding, yeah, and to take advantage of all these chances, yeah, because maybe, yeah, in the audience, yeah, today, maybe here are some organizations or people who did not dare, yeah, to submit the proposal up to now, and I would like to motivate. So I would like to start, yeah, with what should you have in mind, yeah, when you think about funding in general, yeah? When you decide to plan and submit a proposal for funding, you always think about the solution, yeah, to a relevant problem, yeah, to a specific sector or to a specific target group, yeah, and you're looking for money, yeah, and resources maybe, yeah. With the funding, you are able to realize the project more quickly, and of course, you can reduce the risk. So the general assumption is, yeah, that you set with the funding, you set an impulse, yeah, that you start the project, yeah, and politically speaking, yeah, it contributes to growth, yeah, especially in your enterprise, yeah, and competitiveness in your company and in the whole sector. And always, yeah, you work on a novelty or an innovation in form of a product, service, or process. This is the big picture you should always keep in mind, yeah. That's the reason why fundings are provided. But yeah, the big difference in the EU funding programs is, yeah, that the solution to the problem, yeah, should have a European dimension, yeah. That means, yeah, it should serve society, address sustainability aspects, yeah. I'm sure you heard about the Green Deal or other big initiatives like AI Act or Data Initiative, yeah, Bauhaus Initiative, yeah. You consider these great initiatives, yeah, in your proposal planning. And yeah, you should always keep in mind that with a funding commitment, yeah, you have an easier access to investors, to banks, to other partners, countries, and of course, yeah, to the target markets. Yeah, it's a big benefit. Yeah, so let's keep this in mind. Yeah. Some of you maybe have already tried, yeah, to submit the proposal, and you know that's big work, and you have to think about and detail a lot of things like goals, results, the consortium, cost, who and how it's managed, yeah, of course, quality issues, yeah, and all the things. We will step to these points and I will give you some tips later on, yeah, but it's very important. The preparation phase, yeah, limits, yeah, the risk of failure. So let's step to our main topic today, and let's step into the EU funding landscape, especially for those, yeah, who were not involved, yeah, in collaborative EC projects, yeah. I will shortly describe the funding mechanisms, yeah. When you think about EU funding, you often think about collaborative or cooperative projects. That's right, yeah. But there are some funding schemes where a single submission, so you alone as an organization, can also submit a proposal, yeah. For example, maybe some of you know that the EIC Accelerator, yeah, is a funding scheme where a single submission is allowed. Then you have in the funding mechanisms, you have regional, national, and international funding schemes, yeah, but some of them, yeah, are administrated at national level, yeah. So if you fear to get in touch with the Commission, there are some funding schemes, yeah, which are administrated at national level. For Austria, for example, FFG, yeah, is a very good contact point, yeah. So it's also the first step to get in touch with funding chances, yeah. Then types of funding, yeah, we're always thinking about cash, yeah, so typical grants, yeah, but there are also loans, guarantees, direct investments. I mentioned the EIC accelerator before. They also offer direct investments and consulting schemes. They should not be underestimated, yeah, because they are very valuable consulting and specific activities, sometimes paid by 100%. Yeah, you should use that. Yeah. And for the topics, there are thematic open calls. So everybody and each topic, anyway, health, environment, production topics can be submitted. For example, yeah, in the Eureka Eurostars program, there is no limit, yeah, for sectors. Yeah. Then there are call-specific topics, like in Horizon Europe. We will come to that later. And we have region-specific topics and calls. Yeah. So you have to consider if this funding scheme is working in your region. So, and everybody knows that, yeah, but I want to mention it again, that EU funding schemes, yeah, provide in the most cases, yeah, very high funding quotas, up to 100%, yeah, plus overhead, yeah, but it depends on the funding scheme, yeah. In Horizon Europe, for example, the innovation funding scheme, because it's nearer to the market, has 70% plus overhead funding scheme. But you can see that all in the funding guidelines, yeah, depending on each call. So maybe most of you know this graphic, yeah, the largest EU funding program is Horizon Europe with around 95 billion euros budget, yeah, for the next 7 till 27 next years, yeah. And I do not want to spend a lot of time for it, but when you look at in this graphic on the pillar 2 in the middle, yeah, you have the typical sectors where hundreds of calls are issued. And in pillar 3, yeah, you see it's marked in light blue here. You have the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, where also EIT manufacturing is placed, where also some very nice calls are issued. Yeah, I want to show you something. The reason is, yeah, that EIT is known, yeah. On the right side of this blue sheet, yeah, you see the sectors, yeah, the EITs for climate change, urban mobility, raw materials, yeah, health, also it's culture and creativity is new, yeah. So it's worth, yeah, to step, yeah, on the EIT website. I provided the link for you, and that's also typical for some EU funding schemes where you see my yellow arrow call for proposals. Yeah, so it's not very public, very small. Yeah, but if you click here, yeah, you come to very interesting calls. Yeah, also for small consortia, which I really recommend for SMEs. Yeah, so that's a typical example. And I also recommend not only for the EIT, yeah, but to register for the newsletter. So you will get really valuable information. This is for the EIT, and of course, this is valid also for the EIT manufacturing. So I mentioned Horizon Europe and the EIT, but there are really a lot of other programs, yeah, plenty of different organizations and funds with also hundreds of funding schemes, which are often complementary and synergistic with national and regional funding schemes and also Horizon Europe. Yeah, and some of them are also co-funding schemes. So you can use that in combination. But co-funded also means, yeah, that they are paid from national money and international EC money. So I just put out some programs for you. You can read that. You will get the PowerPoint sheets after my presentation. But I just want to mention, which is very useful, especially for SMEs, the Eureka program with Eurostars, Innovate, Global Stars, and some pilot calls. Yeah, Erasmus program deals with education, also company education is a topic there. Yeah, Digital Europe program, yeah, with all the hubs, yeah, providing a lot of services is also relevant. And of course, the Invest in You or Innovation Fund, yeah, could be very relevant topics for you. For all these funds, you can also register for a newsletter, yeah, and sometimes you have contact points in your country. So where can you find those funds? Yeah, the funding and tender cockpit. Yeah, I also provided the link for you. Yeah, you can put in, yeah, and search for acronyms, yeah, specific sectors, programs, regions, yeah, and this is the starting point, yeah, which I made the screenshot for you, and you can search, yeah. So this is the easiest way for you to find a program before you speak with somebody. And on the right side, you also see the green arrows here, yeah. You have always the latest news and events, yeah. So for us, yeah, and when I'm looking for some requests for customers, yeah, I use this as the first address, yeah, to search for international funding, yeah. So, but not only the funding and tender portal, yeah, is important. Where are additional ways, yeah, to find support, yeah? The first or the second address, yeah, after the funding and tender portal for me are the national contact points, yeah, in each country. In Austria, yeah, it's for Horizon Europe. It is the FFG, yeah, and here are very competent people, yeah, which guide you through the calls and support you in finding the call topics and take further decisions. Also, I would like to mention the Enterprise Europe network, yeah, which gives you support, yeah, but it's more market oriented, yeah. Then in LinkedIn, yeah, you find a lot of informations about the call statistics, yeah, announcement of info days, yeah, talking about the calls and the background, the purpose, detailed purpose of the calls, and you can also register for newsletters and collect all this information. Yeah, relatively new, there are the EIT thematic and the digital hubs, yeah. They also provide consulting, yeah, in your sector. Then, of course, regional and national funding institutions, yeah, they have their own departments, yeah. Consultancies, yeah, like us, yeah, to support you to take a decision if a submission, yeah, could be interesting or not. Then incubators and clusters, and sometimes also the Chamber of Commerce could be of help. So what's the big benefit? Yeah, my experience is that a lot of, especially small companies, yeah, fear a little bit, yeah, to cooperate, yeah, and said, it's so much work, yeah, shall I try it or not, yeah? But what are the long-term benefits? And this you should also keep in mind, yeah? The expansion of your network, yeah? Then with a consortium or with a partner, yeah, you can solve a problem, yeah, which you cannot solve alone. You have access to competences, expertises, maybe to IP, yeah. You have the chance to internationalize more faster. You learn about other cultures, yeah, especially in the technical area. Yeah, I made a lot of experiences with US and Chinese technicians. Yeah, there's totally another thinking. Yeah, then you can get deeper information about the functionality of the international funding schemes. When you try to step in with as a partner, yeah, you see how it works, yeah, but you do not have the main responsibility like the coordinator, yeah. And be sure when you're one time part of a successful project, yeah, you have the potential for future cooperation and other projects. You will be invited. Yeah, I think, yeah, you will have a lot of chances. Yeah. Then this is a main point. Yeah. Sharing of risks and know-how, and you complement your competences. Yeah. You cannot know everything. Yeah. Maybe another partner provides facilities and supports you with the demonstration or the access to the market. Yeah. And you're good in research and development of industrial technologies. Yeah. But you do not have the access to the market. Yeah. Then, of course, as I mentioned before, the problem will be solved faster and you ensure the scalability of results. This is very important, and ask in all the calls, yeah, that especially in impact, yeah, you have to describe how you transfer the results within the sector and to other sectors, yeah. And of course, yeah, at international level, the funding rate is higher than at national one, yeah. And the quota also maybe up to 100%, yeah, as I said before. How can you get in touch with consortia? Most projects are initiated due to the internal strategy within the internal company network by customers. Yeah, they invite you to participate in a consortium, to say sales guys, cooperation and development activities, and as I said before, also my experience when demonstrations are planned. Then at info days and matchmaking events, the Horizon community, maybe you know this large initiative which was started by the FFG and a lot of national events. Yeah, this allow you to get in touch, yeah, with other interested organizations. Then a big recommendation to participate in EU initiatives, yeah, and related events. For the production sector, I would like to mention the Mano Future initiative made in EU, yeah, or raw material initiative, and especially for the digital and data sector, the Single Market for Data initiative. Yeah, you also have to refer in your project to these initiatives. Yeah, then the NCPs, as I mentioned, a very great help. Yeah. Then also EIT events, yeah, is very engaged there to promote international cooperation and memberships, digital hubs too, European Enterprise Network, and don't underestimate the congresses, yeah, and trade shows to also get in touch, yeah, with potential projects. So, but I talked about a lot of positive things to motivate you, but be careful. And there are some differences between smaller and national projects, yeah, because, yeah, the funding uncertainty is really higher, and also the potential competition, yeah. Also, the Commission does not know when they publish the calls, yeah, until the deadline, yeah. They do not know how many proposals, yeah, will be submitted, yeah. In the last years, yeah, I saw some call topics were lesser proposals were submitted, yeah. But on the other hand, there were call topics, yeah, where 3 or 4 times more proposals were submitted, yeah. So you should consider this, that it can happen. Then it's much more preparation work, yeah. It follows special and more detailed criteria and requirements. Yeah, you should really look at the context, yeah, and the purpose of the funding, yeah, and legal compliances and also reporting criteria. Yeah, there's a little bit of difference between or two national funding schemes. Partner risks, yeah, then the competences, yeah, that you represent the whole value chain in the consortium. Then that happens very often, yeah. That consortium forget IPR research, yeah, and there is a lack of IP strategy in the proposals. This is very important, yeah, because as you know, the Commission looks more and more on this topic. Then the exploitation strategy, yeah, is very important. How the results are used at partner and at consortium level, financial and political risks, yeah, and the consideration of national regulations. When you start with your solution in 2 or 3 European countries, and then you move on to other regions. Yeah, so you have to concentrate and look at these national regulations. They could differ from each other. And very important, yeah, ethical issues, yeah, and the AI Act, yeah. We will do that maybe in another session, yeah, but the AI Act is really a tough topic, yeah, which should be considered in the proposals, yeah. And of course, you should be aware of that you need more intense project management, communication in the consortium, and a clear decision management. Yeah. So I make a short jump. Yeah. You have to plan the proposal. And which questions should you pose in the planning phase to be ready to talk to the NCPs, yeah, or to potential project partners, to look for calls, yeah, to have an idea how your project fits in your company's strategy, and also to the maybe potential calls. So you should start with the big picture. This is very important. And then think about that, what I said at the beginning. Which problem are you solving? Yeah. Which target group is addressed and which sector? Yeah. And which goals do you want to achieve? Yeah. And which stage do you want to reach in the project? So target audience and goal planning is very, very important. Yeah. And how to measure the progress of the goals. Then take care about the organization, mission and track record. Yeah. Provide information about your resources, your history, your achieved milestones and successes. Yeah. And have an idea about the budget, yeah, and be clear, what's the core team? Whom do I need to implement the project, yeah? And then you can look for additional partners and decide if they are real partners or if they are only subcontractors, yeah? And how will the funds be allocated and managed? Then I will try to keep the attention on the timeline of the project, that it is realistic, yeah, and you have and foresee decision points, go and no go decisions, yeah, where can the project be fail, or other decisions, go left, go right, yeah, what is necessary, and always mention, especially in the technology projects, start and end TRLs, and for the more social projects, yeah, social readiness levels. Yeah, that's relatively new, and you should know that. Project success, I mentioned, and then be always aware of your competitive advantage. What is the novelty or disruption what you provide? Do you foresee IP for it? Yeah. And again, the ethical issues and the AI Act. Please do not forget. Yeah. And also potential risks and challenges which could happen. Yeah. So with the NCP, and when you have a first talk, yeah, if you will try to submit a proposal and try to start the planning process, yeah, please check, yeah, that you fulfill all the requirements of the call, yeah, because the proposals which are submitted are, most of them are really excellent, yeah, and you should reach, really should be in the area of the best ones, yeah. So very important. So just a small information, short information, yeah, which challenges can be expected, yeah, within the planning phase, yeah. You should really read the call text and understand it, yeah, and try to fulfill everything, yeah, and also the impact, yeah, the purpose of the call. Can you fulfill that, yeah? Then often you start too late. Everybody knows that. We always need 1 week more for the proposal, but try to start as early as possible. Yeah. So partner can withdraw from the consortium for different reasons. Yeah. You should be equipped, yeah, and have a solution for that. Then very often it happens, yeah, that the partners announce that they are part of another consortium in the same topic. So when you start the planning process, yeah, the exclusion of the participation in other projects in the same core topic, yeah, should be communicated, yeah, especially to the core partners, because you need them, yeah. Yeah, the risk of competition, yeah, I told you before, it's possible that there are much more submitted proposals than expected, yeah. So you should be aware of that. You do not have Austrian competition or national or regional competition. You have international competition. And also the space, yeah, for the content of proposals, yeah, is limited. Yeah, it has been reduced, yeah, over the last years. So please be aware that the text, yeah, is not too specialized, yeah, and it's focused, and that you place and say the relevant messages, yeah. And please be aware, yeah, that the reviewers are not always experts in the area. There are some technical experts, maybe in your area, but there are also some representatives from lawyers, from investment banks, or business consultants and innovation consultants like me. So IP, I would like to mention, is also, please be careful, yeah, and make the IP search, yeah, and discuss it with your partners, yeah. Then always hit the partners, yeah, if they do not do their work in time, yeah. Funding platforms are not working. Sometimes go always to the funding and tender portal and look. Sometimes deadlines are extended, yeah, because the platform is not working, yeah. You're not able to submit, you have technical problems, yeah. You can contact the NCP, and deadlines are changed. This happened with the EIC accelerator because they had technical problems, yeah. You should always be on the actual status. Yeah, and sometimes additional information during calls is provided on the funding and tender portal. So now I tried to come to an end, yeah, and I want to give you some reasons, yeah, why projects often fail. But on the other hand, would like to motivate you, because they can be reduced, yeah, if you be very consequent in your preparation procedure. So the underestimation of workloads and risks I mentioned. Yeah. You start the proposal too late. Yeah. It's not possible to write an EU-funded proposal, yeah, within 1 week. Yeah. And push your partners. Yeah. And at the very beginning, yeah, take the commitment of the partners. Yeah. That they really really like to participate and support you. Then be careful of the competences and resources that you really represent the whole value chain and expertises you need for the project, the IP situation, and please, please, please address the call text, yeah, and be careful of each word, yeah. Yeah, one tip, yeah, that the final result of the project, if sometimes not clear, yeah, and they do not contribute to the envisaged impact, yeah. So be clear that when the reviewer reads the proposal, yeah, that the end result is clear and how the problem is solved, yeah. Also be clear of your budget. Do not overestimate it and over budget it, yeah. Everything should be coherent, yeah. And the impact, yeah, is the most important part, yeah, of the proposal, yeah. And do not forget it, yeah. And also, as a lot of innovations are envisaged, the business model and the commercialization strategy are also often lacking some information. You should consider that also. So I hope, yeah, I know the time is very short, yeah, for this very large area, but I hope I could motivate you and you are now a little bit more ready, yeah, for the international funding scheme. I would like to provide you with some take-home messages. Please start with the work on your big picture first. Align it with the company's strategy. Define the problem solution and the target group. Yeah. Then you step to the clearly defined end results and the stage, yeah, the TIL level, yeah, you would like to achieve. Yeah. With whom do you want to implement these projects? Yeah. Then find the adequate funding scheme and talk, especially with the NCP or your consultant. Yeah. And start as early as possible. Organize somebody, yeah, for proofreading and a proposal check. It's always good that an external person reads the proposals and gives you some inputs if everything is understandable. And do not forget the sustainability criteria and the ethical issues and the AI Act. Yeah. And very important, when you want to start, yeah, start as a partner to learn, get insights about the functionality, about the mechanisms, yeah, which I described before very shortly, before being a coordinator and initiating single project. Yeah. Consider also Horizon Europe, yeah, everybody talks about it, yeah. Consider also for your projects attractive smaller funding schemes besides Horizon, like Eureka, Erasmus, yeah, or the Interreg project, Interreg program, yeah. Maybe you remember my sheet, yeah, with a lot of funds, yeah, and there are a lot of institutions who will help you to find the right funding scheme. And maybe, yeah, we will go more into deep, and I would be happy, yeah, if you follow our next webinar. So maybe there are a lot of questions open. We can talk about it later on. I would like to close and thank you to all with our motto and my personal motto, yeah. And I citate, better winning together than losing alone. And start your proposal now. And I thank you for your attention. And if you have some questions, we will be here.
Thank you so much, Sabine, for this great presentation. This is certainly highly useful, not just for our attendees, but also for me, as I'm working also in the field. And I know how easy it is to get lost in this huge field of funding schemes and how hard it is to actually write a good proposal. I can see we already have some questions in the chat. So I would like to start with them so the audience can hear from you directly. Please, to the participants, if you have any further questions, do add them in the Q&A function below so we can still get to them within the hour. Please do really take this possibility to speak to this expert directly. The first question, something more technical, how can we get a link to the portal? Ms. Seidl has kindly agreed to share the slides, so we will share them together with a recording of this webinar to all of the participants of this webinar by early next week. I could answer this one. Are there any sources where I have an overview of funding opportunities? Is there a website? I mean, you kind of answered this, but maybe Sabine, you can reiterate on this. Where can I find an overview of all of these fundings? Is there one?
Yeah, I'm the bad messages, yeah. Up to now, yeah, there is no database or website, yeah, who all funding schemes, yeah, are included, yeah. Since years, yeah, I'm thinking about it, yeah, and how to solve this problem, yeah. But up to now, yeah, there is no page. And as I tried to mention it in the in this presentation, the best way to find and for the first time to get an idea, yeah, for me the funding and tender portal, yeah, is the best way to find something, yeah. But first you should have an idea what you want to do, yeah, and then you can put in the specific keywords, yeah, and then you can search, yeah. But there is no at the moment, yeah, there is no single source, yeah, to search for funding, yeah. And also we are talking a lot about ChatGPT, yeah, and artificial intelligence, yeah. I tried to use it, yeah, but it's not actual, yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about these things. There's no one source you can go to, but that is why we need experts like you to kind of make
Yeah,
this easier for everyone. Yes.
yeah.
Another question we got is, what are the usual deadlines for EU projects, or are there usual deadlines?
uh, yeah, I mentioned that there are a lot of or hundreds of funding schemes, yeah, and they follow their own deadlines, yeah, but we are now here to talk a little bit more with the focus on production and production technologies, yeah. For Horizon Europe, yeah, most of the coming deadlines are middle of March and April, yeah, for Horizon Europe, yeah. And for the other funding schemes, like I mentioned, Eureka and Eurostars, is also middle of March, but they have a second deadline in September. So it's really, I recommend, yeah, to register for the newsletters and to stay in touch, yeah, with the national contact point. And also, I missed that also, yeah, but I found out, yeah, that in LinkedIn you find much more information about funding schemes, yeah, and also statistics and competition in proposals, yeah, than on the web pages, yeah. So it's a mixture of everything, yeah. Yeah, some customers say that Ideas in Motion and me in person, that we are a living database, yeah, and we are always actual, but I also feel, yeah, you cannot know everything, yeah, but you know where to search, yeah, and who can be contacted. Yeah, that's very important.
Yes. Another question we got is, what do you recommend in terms of timeline? How long should we plan for writing a proposal? Yeah, good question.
Yeah. So for those larger funding schemes, yeah, for the international and collaborative ones, I really recommend to start 3 or 4 months before the deadline. Yeah, calls are published very early. Yeah, and then you should start with the planning phase with all the questions I showed. Yeah, and with the core consortium to talk about, yeah, if a proposal is funded or not. I know everybody starts late and sometimes deadlines are in the middle of September and the summer holidays are in between, yeah, and everybody is struggling in the week before the deadline, yeah, but the best proposals, and I had also some successful ones, yeah, we really started 3 to 4 months before, yeah. So now before Christmas or around Christmas, yeah, you should the core plan, yeah, should the big picture should be ready for the proposals which are submitted in middle of March, yeah, in Horizon Europe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
normally you do not start by zero. You know some partners and whom you need, yeah. And so now it's the right time, yeah, to start, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, Another question that fits into this category of timeline. If you are part of consortium coordinator and project manager, how often would you advise getting the consortium members together for update meetings?
I think very good question.
Yeah.
Um, so in the phase where you have 3 or 4 partners, yeah, so in the core team, yeah, I recommend weekly updates, yeah. I'm often involved in such meetings, yeah. At the beginning, you can arrange, yeah, that every Monday you meet, yeah. And then when it's clear in which funding scheme you submit, yeah, we set deadlines, yeah, for the formal criteria, for the content, yeah. And it's expanded to I think each 14 days, yeah. But at the beginning, I would meet more often, yeah, so once a week.
Mm-hmm. Um, that's a very broad question. What are additional points to consider in an excellent proposal? I mean, is there a limit to additional points to consider in an excellent proposal? That's probably quite hard to answer.
Um, a lot of points, yeah, and I think we will answer those additional points, yeah, and what makes out an excellent proposal, yeah, in our next trainings, yeah. And we will talk about how an excellent proposal looks like, yeah. And I will give you some tips and ideas, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In this presentation, I strived only some very important points and which are very actual, and I pointed out here the ethical issues, the AI Act, and also the sustainability criteria, because they are really underestimated. Yeah, and I see that in the hundreds of proposals, yeah, I have read, yeah, that also the gender topic, yeah, is often forgotten, yeah, and especially in health or biotech sector, yeah, or in workarounds, yeah, also in the technical area, gender topics are relevant, yeah, and it's often
Mm-hmm.
forgotten, yeah. But we will go into deep, yeah, in the next trainings and next sessions.
Yes, it's certainly hard to put all of these tips into a
Yes,
1 hour webinar.
yes.
So the next question I think is quite interesting. Do you recommend resubmissions of projects?
Uh, yes, yes. I have very positive experiences with resubmissions, yeah, also for customers or partners. And also I told you that I'm making a lot of reviews and I'm also part of the final panel of Eureka in some funding schemes. And I really see that if you consider the feedback, yeah, the resubmissions, most of the proposals are successful, yeah, when they try it a second time. So the first time is to learn, yeah, and then you improve, yeah, and then the chance is relatively high to get the funding.
Mhm. The next one is, how can I find partners to form a consortium with? I mean, you had a whole slide on this topic already. I think it's quite hard for organizations who have never done this before, probably. I think a very valuable tip that you gave is to start off as a partner and to not underestimate the role of being a coordinator, right?
So
Um,
if you are, I always say, yeah, you're a rookie, yeah. If you did not step or try to submit an international or collaborative proposal before, yeah, I really, if you're an SME, yeah, I recommend, and I had it in one slide, yeah, to try it with a smaller funding scheme like Eureka or Eurostars, yeah, for innovation projects, yeah, because here you only need a second international partner, yeah. You can form a small consortium. You need not be 7 or 8 partners, yeah.
mhm,
And then you can try and start with this, yeah, with smaller steps, yeah. And the grants, yeah, you can get, yeah, are also very attractive in Austria, and I think it's in other European countries is nearly the same. For Eurostars, for example, you can get 60%. It's administrated by the FFG in Austria, so you have contact to an organization which you maybe know already,
mhm,
yeah. So it's not so tough, yeah. Then you're like stepping in a large proposal. Yes, that's always
mhm,
my recommendation, to start as a partner and with a very small consortium and with a funding scheme besides Horizon Europe. Yeah.
mhm. I think in terms of time, let's do one more question, and let's
Mhm.
do this one. Is there any way to contact you to get your opinion on a proposal I am currently writing on?
Yes, of course. I will step to the also on in the slides. Yeah, we have the contact sheet. Yeah, and you always please in time. Yeah, you if you have questions in the proposal planning phase, or if you have a draft for a proposal, yeah, we can support you. But keep always in mind, yeah, that when we give feedback, yeah, then additional work, yeah, and activities are to do, yeah, yeah, to
Mhm,
really make an excellent proposal. So 2 days before the deadline, it's a little bit too late, yeah, to look over the draft, yeah. But so 10 days, 10, 14 days before the deadline, yeah, is a good time to support. And if you need help in another phase, no problem, yeah.
Great, thank you. So I'm afraid we have to conclude this Q&A section for time's sake, but I'm very happy to see that we had so many questions and engagement about this topic. Um, as we move forward, it's crucial for all participants to leverage the knowledge gained today and in our upcoming webinars, and actively engage with the available resources and networks. This application process for EU funding may seem intricate, but with the right guidance and strategic approach, it is within reach for individuals and organizations alike. So we extend our gratitude to our expert speaker, Sabine Seidl, for sharing her insights, and to all participants for their active engagement. And in addition to the rich insights shared today, we are excited to actually announce an upcoming opportunity for those eager to delve deeper into this world of EU funding. My colleague already put this into the chat with the respective links. We will have online training webinars scheduled for January 22nd and February 12th that will provide a structured learning environment for individuals, organizations seeking to enhance their understanding and proficiency in navigating EU funding programs. So during these sessions, participants will gain practical knowledge in proposal development, effective project management, and these webinars will, of course, be facilitated by Ms. Seidel. Furthermore, we are actually pleased to offer participants the chance to book individual sessions with Sabine Seidl. So the last question just was, can we talk to you directly about this? We already put this in the chat as well. These are personalized sessions that will provide a platform for you to discuss, refine your specific proposal ideas or drafts, or even if you haven't started anything yet, talk to Ms. Seidl directly. She can significantly enhance the quality and competitiveness of your funding application. So really seize this opportunity to fine-tune your approach, ensure your proposals align seamlessly with the criteria and objectives of EU funding programs. We really believe that these training webinars and individual sessions can empower you to drive EU funding initiatives within your organization. The links have been posted to the chat, so please visit our EIT manufacturing marketplace, or you can contact us directly for more information. Also note that in a few days, we will send out the slides and the recording of this webinar to all participants today. Thank you so much again for your participation, and thank you, Ms. Seidl, for this great insight into EU funding. We look forward to engaging with the participants in upcoming training sessions and seeing more of Ms. Seidl in the future. Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.